And we're recording. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Okay. Hey, John, my name is Kyra. I'm the behavioral health person in the clinic. How are you this morning?
Hey, Kyra. I'm okay. It's just COVID-19 stuff still kind of freaking me out.
Yeah.
Actually only thought it was gonna last like a couple of days or a week, and this is really dragging out. But other than that, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well, thank you. I think you're right when you talk about COVID stretching out. That when we talk about stress, there are four types, and one of them is chronic stress. When people are under chronic stress, it impacts their social roles, and it can really mess with who they are. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I've actually never heard of it put like that before.
Yeah. So tell me, when you say that it's stressing you out and freaking you out a little bit, what does that look like for you?
You know, I'm I'm divorced. This is just kind of me at the
Mhm.
house now. I have my dog. Um,
Good.
I know what my dog is up to, but I it's kind of paranoid. I know. Like I think I'm watching the news too much. Um, it's like I will move from one room with the news on to like just picking up my phone and watching something on Facebook about some COVID expert or whatever. I don't. I mean, I'm afraid that I'll catch it, or even I'll give it to somebody. Like I need that in my life. Like it's my fault that someone died because of some virus.
Oh, I get it.
Um,
Nobody wants to be the typhoid Mary of their town.
no, 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 they don't.
So, when I was looking at your file, and the reason why your doc asked me to come in is I noticed that you've been sober for about 4 years, but on your chart today, you indicated that you're drinking beer. And I was hoping we could maybe have an honest conversation about that. I know, it's an
Honest.
uncomfortable
Okay.
one. So, can you tell me a
Um,
little bit about what's going on? Is it related, the COVID and the alcohol?
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, just going through the process and recovery and everything. Isolation is like the absolute worst. You know,
Yeah.
and I haven't been able to go to my meetings. Um, and I'm not. Back when I was really drinking, I drank like a fifth or a liter, like
Hmm.
every time I was drinking.
Yeah.
But I started with one beer a couple of months ago on the weekends.
Hmm.
Now I'm drinking a couple beers a few days a week, and this all started around when COVID started,
Hmm.
and this sounds so stupid because I know so much about recovery already, but like you think I would be less anxious if I had alcohol in my system, but I'm more anxious. This is not helping me.
Yeah. Hey, and I want to take some of that pressure off your plate. Relapse is part of recovery, John. It's okay to have a hard time.
Yeah, yeah, and it's really hard to argue that this isn't a relapse. But you know, sponsor, like I haven't been able to connect with my sponsor, and it's not. I mean, I don't think it's his fault. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know. It's just a mess, and I can't go to meetings.
Yeah.
I don't. When I start thinking about relationships or dating in general, I think about marriage and divorce and how much
Yeah.
that sucked.
Yeah.
And I just don't talk to anybody.
So, if you're okay with this, I would really like to work with you to come up with some solutions here. Sometimes when we're in hard places, it's really hard to find our way out of corners. Can we do some work together to help you get out of this corner a little bit?
Sure. I mean, I'm, I'm here, and you know, it's the most I've been out in a long time. I should make the best use of time for sure.
I'm happy that you're out. It's nice that you're here today. I'm enjoying our time together.
Thank you. Me too.
So, what about, does your local meeting, have they thought about doing like a Zoom or a FaceTime meeting?
Honestly, after it started and it became obvious that I was drinking with some regularity again, I'm probably sure that they have, but I haven't checked because I just don't want to deal with the questions or the facing the. And it's a great group that I attend. I've
Good.
never seen anybody shamed or whatever. I just, when I think about going to another meeting and explaining what my life has been like, that means that I have to participate. And for so long, it's just been like I've been one of the people that just goes to like encourage other people and like be part of the I haven't been using it for me, and now I have to use it for me, and I just think
Yeah.
that's going to be exhausting. I could check.
I think whenever we talk about doing hard emotional labor, of course it's going to suck, but you got to get through the suck so that it can get a little bit better.
Hmm.
So, what's interesting is as we're talking, I'm hearing a couple different things, and I'm hearing you talk about your alcohol use, and I'm kind of hearing a couple different, like, I started a couple months ago, a couple beers a week. What do you think about taking a quick 10 question assessment for me so we can kind of get some data on what's happening here for you? Would that be okay?
Yeah, 10 questions. I'm good with that.
Yeah, it's super simple. So, through the magic of Zoom, we're going to pretend that I'm handing over the audit to you. You are going to magically fill it out. Hey, John, I'm looking at your audit scores that you just magically filled out. And I got to say, you're scoring right at about a 9. And 8 is the number that we usually think, man, something might be going on here. What do you think
Mm.
about that?
Um, you know, I I'm in a doctor's office and I'm being told that I've got problems, and I don't want to go back to the place that I was before.
Yeah.
I mean, I better do something.
You know what? And that's why I'm here. Let's come up with a game plan here. So we've talked about maybe dialing in, like literally Zooming or FaceTiming in. Tell me more about your sponsor. You said that you haven't been able to get a hold of him, but then you said that you also haven't tried to reach out to him. What would it be like to reach out to your sponsor?
Well, I mean, his name's Frank, and I've tried to reach out to Frank a couple of times and left messages. I didn't explain, like, and they always tell you that, like, if you do leave a message, you should say, like, thinking about drinking, or I'm thinking about doing
Yeah.
something stupid or what, and I didn't say that. So, you know, and then he did call me back, and when he called me back, I didn't say, like, how's it been going? You been drinking? No. So flat out lied or whatever. And then just really, didn't really call them again, and I just haven't asked if they've been doing anything. Come to think of it,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he called me yesterday and left me a message, and I haven't checked it yet.
It sounds like you're doing a really awesome job of avoiding the issue.
Yeah,
Good job there.
yeah, I'm succeeding at something.
Woo! What would it be like to call Frank and to maybe say those really hard words of, I'm having a hard time?
I think I could do that. Frank's awesome. Um, I think. I mean, it at minimum, if I didn't do anything else, I mean, I think calling Frank would be just it'd be more than a step in the right direction. I mean, he knows what to do. I mean, he's just go back and forth or whatever, but he's sober, but he's had his slips and stuff or whatever, but he's been dealing positively with this for like 30 years. So,
That's a long time.
yeah.
I wonder if Frank is reaching out to you so much because maybe he has a gut feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's not stupid. He's actually a really sharp guy.
So let's work on creating a SMART goal because we want our goals to, be thoughtful and work for us.
Okay.
So it sounds like your S, which is your specific goal, is to reach out to Frank.
Okay.
When's a good time for you to do that?
I mean, I could do it when I get in the car. I mean, I like being on the phone when I'm driving because it's just
Yeah.
something I enjoy doing. Or I could call him when I get home. It's not like I kind of a lot of what I did worked from home before all this happened anyway. So like I don't have like a to do list waiting on me when I get home. So I
Yeah.
mean, I could today like I will call today.
I really like that. One of the things that I think can happen, especially during COVID, when none of us really have to do lists, and half the time you don't even put on real pants, it's easy to just push stuff off, right? But you're going to call Frank by what time tonight?
Well, he he's got his kids are teenagers, but he's you know helping them wind down. I'll call um I'll call him if I don't call him when I get in the car, I'll call him at 6.
Awesome. John, I really like this. I think that this is a solid plan. And it sounds like you've had a great relationship with Frank, and he's a good supportive person for you.
Yeah, I've had this about 4 years of sobriety until recently, and he's been there the whole time. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, I love that guy. I mean,
good.
it's not this is not going to be a bad thing. I know it's not.
No.
I just haven't wanted to.
Man, reaching out for help is hard. I'm really proud of you. This is a big step.
Thanks.
John, there's another issue though that we need to deal with today, and that's your anxiety, right? Because I think that the two are like the same. Can you tell me a little bit about feeling anxious and what that's like for you?
Um, well, like I said, I think a lot about the COVID stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not like washing all my doorknobs or
Okay.
latches like every 5 seconds, but I mean, I do clean the house every day. Like,
Yeah.
um, I have the sanitizer and stuff, and I don't. I make a list before I go to the store that lasts a while.
I
But
bet.
I think about what I could have done differently in my marriage. Makes me feel awful about even talking to anybody. Now with the drinking stuff, like that means different things for my life. It means that
Yeah.
4 year track of sobriety hasn't is no longer the case, and it's like something died, and I just don't want to deal with. I don't want to deal with another big crash or another big ending of something. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, 100%. You know, when we talk about recovery and relapse, the two are tied together. And I think it's okay to say you had an amazing 4 year streak. COVID happened, it's stressful, and you're getting back up on this horse. That's good. Like there's stuff to be learned here. When we talk about falling off the wagon, what I think we also need to talk about is gathering those life skills that are lying about and taking them with us. And it
Yeah.
sounds like that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I also want you to think about all of the positive things you're doing to combat some of this anxiety. Hand sanitizer, you're keeping your house clean, you're snuggling with your dog. I'm assuming you're wearing a mask when you go out in public. All those things are keeping you safe. Have you thought about it that way?
Yeah. I mean, I guess that, I'm such a pro recovery person, part of the anxiety of not having a chance to speak with anybody, um, that's part of the anxiety, because then I would, like, I guess I would feel I'd owe people explanation or something. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. You don't owe anyone anything. And I have a hunch that Frank is going to help you smooth that process of joining your group again.
Yeah. Yeah. Frank's a good guy.
Sounds like. Hey, do you have a smartphone?
Yeah.
Good. So you mentioned earlier that you'll go from like watching the TV news to like looking at your phone. What do you think about putting a time limit on your phone? Like you can literally program it. It's called downtime to say from this time to this time, I'm not on any apps. What would that be like for you? Like maybe right
There's a
before
bunch
bed?
of stuff around the house I could be. I mean, the house is clean, but
Mhm.
there's always some other crap I could be doing besides staring at the phone.
Totally.
Um,
Well,
I didn't know about the downtime thing. I mean,
mhm.
I could try that.
I think downtime's awesome, especially a couple hours before bed. That way you don't have all of that stuff in your brain before you try to go to sleep.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll
So,
try that.
how do you feel about the plan we've got in place for you?
Um, yeah, I think I don't think the world's going to end with a phone call to Frank, someone I've known for years, and checking out an app.
Yeah, I don't think the world's going to end with those two things either. So, would it be okay if I called and checked in on you this time next week just to see how things went with Frank?
Yeah, no, I mean, it would be great to talk to someone else,
You bet.
anybody else.
Totally. So, I'm going to put you down in my calendar. I'm going to give you a call about 20, 30 minutes next Wednesday at this time, and we'll just see how things are going and if we need to reevaluate our plan. Does that sound okay?
Sounds really great. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, now I'm going to hit the stop